Now, why would you buy a Volkswagen Touareg in 2022? Now, in this review, I want to show you what you're getting when you spend over $100,000 on a Volkswagen by showing the exterior features, the interior features, and taking this thing for a drive on-road and off-road. This thing is priced from over $110,000 before on road, so you're looking at like 120 grand drive away for this thing. Obviously, you have a nice bright grille with plenty of chrome here up front. You do have an R badge in here because this is the R lines. I do like how the new Volkswagen logo here at the front houses your radar system, so it's nice and clean. Now along the side, we have 20-inch wheels, and that allows us to have a bit more sidewall here for comfort. These are Pirelli tires as well from factory, the 285s, both front and rear. And what I do like is how subtle this exterior design is. There's nothing really too exciting. You just have a little boot lip extension here at the back. We do have a rear wiper. You do have the name of the car stamped across the back. I do like these rear lights, but I also like the real exhaust pipes this car has. And of course you have your tow ball here, which obviously has this brake controller right next to it, which this car's fitted, ready to go, and it's ready to tow. So you're buying this car because you want the largest Volkswagen available. And you do have a power tailgate back here. It does have a hands-free option, so you sort of wave your foot underneath and it will open the boot. But what I really like is that this car will automatically adjust its suspension to make it easier to load items in and out. And you also do have controls to control your air suspension back here. Now the boot floor is concealing a spare tire and everything you need to change one. Now you can fold the seats down and they do fold as a 40-20-40 split. Now before you even do anything when you hop in here, you have to listen to the door sound. Check it out. This thing's like a bank vault. When I looked at the photos of this thing, I was going, how is this thing gonna be $100,000? And why are they asking that much? All the materials used in here are very plush. There's no real harsh plastics in here. Sure, down below there are some tough plastics and maybe further up the door than I would like. Massaging, heated and cooled seats. And you can blend that heated and cooled function to make sure you have a warm seat so it's not hot or cold, which is quite cool. And the massaging functions are incredible and work really well. You've also got a heated steering wheel, you have a heads-up display, you have a digital display in front of you, and a very large infotainment to the left of you. Now you do have a wireless phone charger in here, and you do have some USB ports, plenty of places to store items. Even the cup holders are large enough to hold my large water bottle in the door bins. Now we do have two window shades in here, which is a very complicated solution to just making one big one or one that can extend. Now this party piece in the middle is the giant screen. This is probably one of the biggest screens I've seen in a car that wasn't a Tesla. Now this screen is angled towards the driver, so it's very useful, but you're gonna feel left out if you're the passenger. There's a nice big home button in the middle. The UI is very usable, and also that sort of wave function that you can do with these screens just by waving your hand in front makes sense here because it's such a large screen. Only hard buttons you have are the handbrake, hazard buttons, volume control, engine start, stop, auto hold, and your controls for your air suspension, your gear selector, and your drive modes. Here at 5'11", I have plenty of knee room, plenty of feet room, and an okay amount of headroom as well. So I'm gonna be very comfortable for long trips. Now these seats can also sort of recline to about there. They also can go a bit more upright, but I'm not sure why you do that. You do have a rear window shade back here, which helps with blocking out the sun, but there's not a whole bunch getting in here anyway because the windows are pretty small, but at least they do go down to around there. So yeah, not super impressive with the rear windows so far. It's a bit disappointed with the rear seats. Like we're not getting any sort of other comfort features in the back. Like we don't have any rear heated seats, for example. So when you set off in the new Volkswagen Touareg, you get a pretty cool sensation where the seatbelt will pull back on you and just give you that reassuring sort of feel that, yes, you are buckled in and ready to go. Now under the bonnet, we have a 3-litre V6, which is diesel. It's twin turbo, produces 210 kilowatts and 600 Newton meters. And this thing is very, very silky smooth. It's so quiet, and I really love the sounds this thing makes when you're under acceleration. You get some good amount of turbo noise if that's what you're after in your diesel car, but then you also get plenty of power. It's also nice and quiet in here as well. You are getting a bit of road noise from the tires, and that's really about it. It's really well isolated inside this cabin, especially when you start playing any sort of media through these speakers. But yeah, I just love that turbo whistle in the background. It gives you just a bit more character in this car, and I really enjoy it. Now you can feel this car's weight. It does feel like a very hefty car. It does feel like a very well-built car because I'm getting no squeaks or rattles throughout this vehicle when driving along. Now Touareg does have these E-dampeners in here, and these things are quite useful because it allows the car to sort of stiffen up or relax, and you can really feel that through these sort of sections of road. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, oh, should I spend more money and get an Audi, or should I go and get the Porsche Cayenne? Well, I say you don't have to do that. I'd say you could be very content with this option here because the Touareg in the R-Line specification gets plenty of poke and plenty of chassis capability. Now you can change your gears manually as well, which is, yep, it's all good to do that, and it's a lot of fun, especially in sport, to sort of slam going up the gears, but when you start downshifting, it doesn't really feel so smooth, so I don't really mess with the paddles all that much, and also they're kind of ugly. They're these little plastic pieces on the back, nothing too special. Now my average consumption in here has been about 9.6 litres per 100 Ks, and you can easily see just over 900 kilometers per tank in this car. And then we also do have a couple of off-road modes here. We have an off-road mode and we have snow mode. So they're pretty basic modes, but at least we can go into off-road mode and see what it's got. We've got extra ground clearance here as well, which is quite useful. I don't think it's as comfortable as the Defender. I thought the Defender just, you know, really honed in the experience of luxury off-roading. No, nothing here to suggest that we have hill descent control readily available, but let's see if it auto activates going down this hill. Yep, there it is. So it's inbuilt into off-road mode. So as we hit an incline, the car can sense it, and it's always going to put us into a hill descent control feature. Now look, if you're thinking about taking out your Touareg on a sort of light off-roading day, I don't think you can have a problem with that at all. The thing is, if you're, say, already used to the idea of spending over $100,000 on a car, I wouldn't blame you if you went ahead and bought something like a Mercedes, a BMW, a Porsche, or even an Audi, because those are just a little bit more cash to get a sort of similar spec. Because when you're spending this amount of cash, you want something to show for it, and I think this car just hides it a little bit too much than some buyers would like. And I'll see you in the next one.